In your opinion, are the Taliban suffering because the NGOs on the ground are not providing them aid? So we're actually harming the very people we want to help.
Yeah, so Senator, I think that, if I could rephrase your question, I think the question is, are ordinary Afghans suffering? And I think the answer is correct. And I think it leads me to this point that whatever our political disagreements might be with the Taliban, whatever our views might be of its treatment of women, of its disregard for human rights and democracy, whatever our views might be of the fall of the government of Afghanistan, we should not, the people of Afghanistan should not be a casualty of that political disagreement. And so the focus of our letter, and really the focus of our testimony, is on humanitarian assistance, and to make sure that the people of Afghanistan aren't victims of this political disagreement, and that humanitarian aid isn't criminalized by organizations that simply want to help and prevent widespread famine in the months to come, which is a real risk.
Thank you. We'll start with Senator McFedrin, to be followed by Senator Omidwar.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you to this committee for initiating this discussion today. I think it's crucial. I am very heartened by the conclusion from both of our expert witnesses. I just want to make sure that I've understood it correctly. In your expert opinions, there is actually not a need for an amendment in order for humanitarian aid to flow to Afghans in desperate straits. We all know that in August of 2021, when Kabul fell and the Taliban officially retook the country, that it was described by virtually every source as the largest humanitarian disaster in the world at that time, and we all know it's only gotten worse. So if I'm correct in understanding what you said, may I ask you your sense of why the Government of Canada would be continuing to take the position that they first need to amend the legislation? How is it that it sounds like a legal opinion has dictated everything that this government is currently doing to block humanitarian aid?
Yes, thank you for that question, Senator McFedrin. Yes, I do believe, although we've not seen the actual legal opinion, that it is a legal opinion that is blocking the government. But as we tried to do, and this opinion was prepared some months ago in recognition of the urgency of the situation, we have tried to make arguments that the Khawaja case is quite relevant, as well as the ability of the Attorney General of Canada to approve any terrorism prosecution before it is started. So it may be, and I'm only speculating, that the government's legal advisors are looking at other countries that have crafted exemptions. But it's important to know that the government has generally been quite proud of the Anti-Terrorism Act 2001, and it has been upheld by the Supreme Court in a number of occasions. But the Supreme Court has also been very careful to say that it does not apply to conduct that presents a negligible risk of enhancing an ability to carry out acts of terrorism. And, in my view, Section 8303 sub B sticks out like a sore thumb. And either it has to be read down through interpretation, or in my view, it is vulnerable to a charter challenge. Now, obviously, waiting for either a successful charter challenge, which could go all the way to the Supreme Court before it was finally decided, and in my judgment, likely to be successful, or even an amendment takes much time. So I do think that this is a case where perhaps an overly cautious legal opinion